So the Lakers have been very up and down this season, and a lot of that has to do with injuries and inconsistent play from key role players. The player who arguably headlines this issue is Tailon Horton-Tucker, who has struggled to fit around the Lakers' big three of LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. While he's definitely played better since the start of the season, I still think the Lakers should try to trade him for win-now players that are better fits. So let's go over 3 trades the Lakers should make that mainly involve trading Tailon Horton-Tucker and Deandre Jordan. And very quickly before we get into it, if you want to see more interesting NBA content just like this, be sure to drop and subscribe, as I really do appreciate all your guys' support. So first up, I have Tailon Horton-Tucker and Deandre Jordan to the San Antonio Spurs for Doug McDermott. The Lakers could definitely use another shooter with legitimate wing size, and they could get that with Dougie McBuckets here. McDermott is a 6'7" wing who has really blossomed over the past few years as an elite 3-point shooter and a terrific cutter who is an elite role player on offense. He would be terrific playing next to LeBron, who can find him for open shots out at the perimeter or on cuts, and he could also help space the floor for AD and Westbrook as well. Not to mention, he's playing on a Spurs team with poor spacing and defenses knowing that he's one of their only good 3-point shooters, and with that in mind, he's still shooting 42.3% from 3 this season. With LA and having better playmakers setting him up, obviously they don't have great spacing, but I could see McDermott further bumping up his 3-point percentage to say around 44 to 45%. On defense, while McDermott has a reputation as a poor defender, he's actually been somewhat okay on this end of the floor this season. He's a solid team defender and has great basketball IQ in directing his man to the rim protector, and I could see this working with AD protecting the paint. He's never going to be an elite defender for LA, but he has solid size and effort that could make him at least around an average defender that provides elite play on the offensive end of the floor. On the other hand, the Spurs do this trade to take a flyer on a high upside player in THT, and they get off McDermott's longer term contract where he'll be in his early 30s, and he doesn't fit their current timeline. But THT does fit that timeline with Murray, and a future backcourt of Murray and THT has terrific length and potentially versatility if they both improve their shooting on offense. Next up, I have Tailon Horton-Tucker, Deandre Jordan, and a lottery protected 2027 first round pick to the Blazers for Nance Jr. So this one may look like a pretty costly package at first, but I think it's worth it for an elite role player like Nance Jr. Many Laker fans remember Nance as he was great for LA as a high energy guy mainly off the bench. However, he's really improved his game since then. While he's not put up the best stats on a dysfunctional Blazers team, we saw just last season what Nance can do as he averaged about 9 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, and almost 2 steals per game while shooting 36% from downtown. He would be great as an alley-oop target off of cuts and in transition, and I think he could be a solid 3-point shooter providing some floor spacing for LA. Not to mention, he already has played with LeBron on the Cavs, and there should already be some chemistry between those two guys there. On defense, Nance is one of the most versatile defenders in the NBA, as he's able to guard wings, bigs, and some guards as well. He's very mobile for a guy his size and has insane athleticism and length, and he provides some desperately needed wing defense for LA. The Blazers would do this trade in a move to rebuild, as we just saw they traded Norman Powell and Robert Covington to the Clippers, and they would get a high upside player in THT, and a protected first round pick that could end up being a big asset for other trades or their rebuild. However, given how little that the Blazers got in exchange for both Powell and Covington, I could see the Lakers only having to give up something like potentially 2 second-round picks instead of a protected future first-round pick to get Nance Jr. And finally, for the final trade on this list, I have Tailon Horton-Tucker and Deandre Jordan to the Pacers for Justin Holiday and Tory Craig. So the Lakers will get 2 wings who would slide in seamlessly into their rotation. Specifically, Justin Holiday, as he's a wing who can provide some solid wing defense while helping to space the floor for LeBron, Westbrook, and AD. Craig is an excellent defender as well who can provide some energy and hustle off the bench, and while he's not as good of a 3-point shooter, he's still a good cutter and a guy who is a solid offensive rebounder that can get points off of putbacks and provide some second chance opportunities for the Lakers on those hustle plays. On the other hand, the Pacers would do this trade in a rebuilding move, and they get a nice prospect in THT for players who are expendable and don't fit their timeline. So that's a wrap. Thank you guys all for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more interesting NBA content just like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on when this video will be coming out. Also, be sure to follow me on IG and hit me up if you want to talk about basketball or business. Just drop a comment down below my photo or DM me and I'll definitely try you back to most guys there. Also, let me know down in the comments below on what trades you want to see the Lakers make at the trade deadline, as I do read the comments. I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have to say here as well. So with all that being said, once again, thank you guys all for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Peace.